Hey guys. A man who dreamed of becoming a pilot joined the American forces as a fighter pilot. Things took a drastic turn when his plane crashed in Laos, which is enemy territory. Will he be able to survive among the enemy and make it back to his country? In 1965, some people believed that the limited conflict in Vietnam would turn into a full-scale war. One indicator of what lay ahead was the American bombing of secret targets in Laos. This story is inspired by true events in the life of Dieter Dengler. Welcome to Popcorn and Summaries. The story begins with a few soldiers sitting on the plane. An admiral arrives and tells them that they will take a position at 5 in Yankees Station. They are headed to North Vietnam to cut enemy supply lines so they can cross over into Laos. He instructs them not to share anything with anyone as this mission is classified. After that, they watch a video of a soldier lost in the jungle trying to signal a rescue plane. They all make fun of the video and laugh. They are then taken to a military camp to get the right supplies. Dengler, a new fighter pilot, expresses his disappointment that he thought they would be assisting South Vietnam generals against infiltrators for 3 to 4 weeks. Instead, all he's getting is one night in Saigon. He just wants to fly. Dengler requests a worker to prepare a mosquito net for him to protect against insects and a flap in his shoes to hide his American passport. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe for more content like this and support the channel. The next day, a general arrives and gives them further instructions about where their mission will be centered. He introduces Lieutenant Dengler, who makes a joke that everyone laughs at. They prepare, wish each other good luck, and say goodbye. Then, they finally board their fighter jets. They start rolling over one by one. First, his 2 friends roll over, and then he rolls over. Unfortunately, his plane is struck and starts coming down. He signals for help and informs that he is losing altitude. He receives the order to bail out, but he refuses to do so. His jet crashes on the ground and gets divided into pieces. Miraculously, he is unharmed and falls into a muddy water pool. After he comes out, he notices local Laotian people following him. Panicking, he starts running while hiding in the grass, eventually finding refuge far away in the jungle. That night, he sleeps in his mosquito net. Upon waking up, he hears a rescue plane passing overhead. Eager to be spotted, he gets up and tries to signal it, even climbing on a rock to wave a mirror, but his efforts prove futile. By then, the Laotian people have reached the area. Feeling the heat while standing on the rock, he goes to a pool to drink water. The Laotians catch up and capture him, tying him up and taking him to their settlement with huts, where women and children also reside. They secure him to the floor with nails and deny his request to use the bathroom. The next day, they lead him into the woods, where they begin cooking with wooden tools. A rescue plane appears, and everyone starts running, taking him along. Despite his clarification that the rescuers can't see them through the treetops and that he didn't call for help, they tie him to a tree and shoot around him to frighten him. Following this, they take him to their provincial governor. He is well dressed and speaks English. The governor questions Dengler, asking why he won't admit that he is an American citizen. In response, Dengler takes out his American passport from his boots and shows it to him. Dengler explains that he is not interested in war and just wants to fly. The governor then instructs Dengler to sign a paper condemning the imperialistic aggression and corrupt and debased political establishment of the United States against innocent children and peace-loving working classes. If Dengler signs it, he'll be considered on their side and promised freedom in 2 weeks. However, Dengler refuses, stating his love for America and his unwillingness to go against his country. As a consequence, the governor sends him back for further torture. Dengler is tied to a bull and dragged across the floor. He's also hanged upside down and drowned in water. The next day, he's taken to a place where his boots are taken, and he's thrown into a hut. In the adjacent hut, there's another American prisoner. They converse until the prisoner warns Dengler that little Hitler is coming. A little boy with a gun and a few others arrive, putting Dengler's feet inside a wooden pillory. The following day, he is taken out of the hut and meets other prisoners. They all introduce themselves, with Eugene standing out as the apparent leader among them. Duane inquires about how Dengler became a fighter pilot, and Dengler shares a childhood memory. He recounts seeing a fighter jet with his brother outside his window, bombing places with bombs skipping just inches away from their house. The pilot, with an open canopy, looked at Dengler through his goggles, inspiring him to become a pilot. Duane finds it strange that Dengler drew inspiration from his enemy. As 2 rescue planes fly over, the prisoners shout, and guards forcefully push them. In the chaos, Duane is shot but, thankfully, remains unharmed. During the night, when Dengler discusses escape again, Eugene becomes emotional, expressing his long wait for release and reluctance to risk it. He implies he would prefer guards shooting Dengler rather than jeopardizing the group's chances. The next day, during a routine check, a female guard discovers a broken mirror with Dengler. He explains it's for shaving, and she smiles at him. Dengler shares with his friends that he likes the girl and wishes there wasn't a war between them. Curious, his friends inquire if he's engaged, and Dengler reveals that he is. His fiancée's name is Marina, and she studies marine biology. However, he expresses doubt that she will still be waiting for him. On May 22nd, Dengler's friends wish him a happy birthday and present him with a unique gift, a champagne made from squished insect larvae. Dengler, in return, surprises them with gifts of his own, presenting each of them with a knife made from cartridge shells. Amidst the celebration, Dengler shares his escape plan with his friends. He instructs them to collect rice, explaining that it will be valuable for their escape. According to his plan, they will steal guns from the guards, hold them captive, and wait for a rescue plane. By doing so, they can signal the plane and make their escape. The following morning, they discreetly note the positions of the guns held by the guards.
A submarine gun is in Hut B, and there are others as well.
To aid in their escape, they create a map using wooden pieces, marking the locations of the weapons and preparing for the challenging task ahead. When the guards express doubt about the map, the prisoners brush it off, claiming it's just a game to pass the time. Dengler gathers everyone and asks if they are on board with the escape plan. Everyone agrees except Eugene. The group decides to execute the escape on the 4th of July. However, tensions rise during a fight between Eugene and Dengler over the sharing of rice at the lunch table. Dengler, in a moment of frustration, boasts that he won't free Eugene from the handcuffs as he still holds the key. This leads Eugene to accuse Dengler of becoming a warden himself. Recognizing his mistake, Dengler apologizes to Eugene the next day. While eavesdropping on the guards discussing in the kitchen, the prisoners learn that the food is running out, and attempts to get more from the village have failed due to villagers being unable to grow sufficient supplies. In a disturbing turn, the guards contemplate marching the prisoners out, killing them, and making it appear as though they attempted an escape. The urgent situation meant they needed to act immediately, or their lives were at risk. Dengler, having heard the guards' deadly plan, decides they should escape the following day. He instructs the group to steal rifles and gather in the kitchen simultaneously, emphasizing the importance of coordinating their actions. The next day, Dengler takes charge, stealing rifles and initiating the escape. He shoots most of the guards and calls for Eugene and Duane, but only Duane arrives. Upon Eugene's return, Dengler questions him about why he couldn't make it, and Eugene tries to brush it off by saying that he missed the shot. Dengler inquires about Eugene's rifle, and he reveals that he arranged one for himself. Dengler provides ammo for Eugene's rifle. Eugene, still discontent, expresses that Dengler should get his weapon, as he won't be helping him. As they go in different directions, Dengler and Duane head in one direction while Eugene takes another. The rain falls, and they eat the collected rice. They reach the bank of a river, and Dengler suggests building a raft to cross to the other side. The plan is to find a big muddy area, and from there, they can cross into Thailand. They construct a raft, but as they navigate the river, they unexpectedly encounter a waterfall. Forced to bail out, they scramble to the shore. The plan to traverse the river fails, and they have to remove leeches from their bodies. Though disappointed, Dengler hasn't given up. The next morning, Dengler wakes up Duane and urges him to stay silent as there's a fisherman nearby. Dengler finds an abandoned shoe and offers it to Duane, who wears it. They decide to ditch their weapons, tired of carrying them and unable to use them for hunting without making noise. As they journey on, Duane starts losing courage, expressing exhaustion and an inability to walk further. Dengler motivates him to keep going. Eventually, they arrive at what appears to be an abandoned village according to Dengler, but Duane insists it's just jungle. In the village, Dengler spots a hut, and they decide to rest there. Duane expresses his inability to continue, suggesting Dengler leave him behind. Dengler encourages him, painting a hopeful picture of reaching the Big Muddy, crossing it, and heading straight to an American office where they can order good food and anything Duane desires. Spotting two rescue helicopters, Dengler attempts to signal them by shouting, but they fail to notice. Duane, feeling increasingly disheartened, requests Dengler to stop speaking, fearing the guards might overhear them. Dengler realizes that Duane is not in good condition, covers him with leaves, and tries to light a fire to signal the helicopters. Eventually, Dengler successfully lights a large fire. A helicopter finally arrives, but instead of rescuing them, it opens fire. Miraculously, they remain unharmed. Dengler speculates that the sight of the burning village might have led the helicopter crew to mistake them for enemies. He leaves the area with Duane. As they set on their journey, a boy notices them and alerts the villagers. Dengler and Duane drop to their knees, begging the villagers to spare them. Tragically, their pleas fall on deaf ears as a villager strikes Duane in the neck and leg, leading to his untimely death. Dengler runs for his life, finding refuge in the grass. For many days, he hides there, stealing small amounts of food. He listens to Duane's voices in his imagination. At one point, he experiences a hallucination where Duane appears, complaining about cold feet. When Dengler tries to offer his soul, Duane disappears. After the villagers leave, Dengler emerges from hiding. He catches and eats a snake for sustenance. Spotting a few planes overhead, he signals them. Eventually, one of the planes notices him and leads to his rescue. Held by the CIA for 4 days, Dengler is prohibited from talking to anyone due to the classified nature of the mission. Eventually, his buddies arrive with a cake, helping him escape secretly. Back on his ship, he receives a warm welcome and is appreciated as a hero. Dieter Dengler decides to retire from active duty and pursue a civilian pilot career, marking the end of his military service and the beginning of a new chapter in his life. He survives 4 more plane crashes. Did you like the story? Express your opinion in the comment section below. Like and subscribe for more such videos. Till the next video.